Okay, so it's January 14th, 2024. I'm out here at the site where I killed my cougar. I got him this last September. It was September 4th. I'll try to make a video on what happened, give a better rundown. At the end of this, I'll show you all the footage that I did take. I filmed a little bit with my phone before the hunt and after the hunt. I didn't film during the hunt. Kind of regret it. I was hoping to prop my phone up right here, but I didn't want to waste a lot of time setting up, worried about filming it. I was mainly worried about getting the cat down. And I did try to prop my phone up right here where I'm sitting, but didn't have any good ways to do that within reach. And it was just kind of chaotic, so didn't get to film it. But anyway, September 4th, it was like, I forget the exact times. This morning, just came home from vacation, so I didn't go hunting that morning. But I was planning on going out later that afternoon, basically. But I just kind of hung around the house in the morning, got some stuff put away, shot the bow, just kind of messed around. And I have some cameras back in the spot at the time, and I had a tom and a female show up. I forget what time of year it was, like June. They showed up down the end of this road, and the female was sniffing my salt lick, and the male was following her. And it was a tom, but not a giant one. You know, looked like a fairly young cat, but still decent. And they showed up on camera that one time, and then this other tom started showing up on the camera a month or two after, and I kept getting him on camera before the season, and just hoping that he shows up during the season. Well, sure enough, September 4th, I was sitting at home, and I get sent pictures from one of my trail cameras of a cougar. I just jumped up. I was so excited. I jumped up and grabbed all my stuff. Told my wife, I was like, yeah, got a cougar in my camera. I got to get going. And I grabbed all my gear. Luckily, I had most of my gear in the Jeep already. Didn't have my camera or any of that stuff. I think the only thing I had to grab was my external speaker and my face mask, which I didn't even have it that day. Didn't even bother looking for it. But basically, it was the only two things I left, which I grabbed my speaker, which I didn't end up using. Normally, when I call for cats, I use that external speaker to kind of get a little more noise out, but didn't feel I needed it in this case, and it worked. So originally, I get sent that picture. I come in here. I filmed a little bit on the way in. As I'm driving in, I'm just like a half mile up the road, and I get sent another picture of that cat still in the road. So I'm like, okay, he's still there. We got him. Like this is a really good chance I'm gonna get this cat. So I park, walk in, and I set my camera around here. I set my call up right there. You can't really see it because bad lighting right now. Oh, right there. There's a little stump. I set my call up right there, and originally I was actually sitting over here. Sitting right here. And I started calling. Started calling for about 5 minutes or so. and nothing was happening. I was running distress sounds at first, and I ran my rabbit sound, just like DSG cottontail, I think it was, and I ran it just real briefly, just a couple of screams, because the camera's only like a couple hundred yards down the road here. And as I'm sitting on that side of the road, I'm thinking to myself, okay, he's either gonna show you. The approaches are gonna be right there. He's either gonna come out right there because my call is sitting right behind this stump. So he's gonna wanna come around this. If he's on this side of the road, he's gonna come around here, or he's gonna come around on that ditch line, right through here. Now, my thought at the time when I walked in here was that he was on the opposite side of the road. So I wanted to watch this other ditch line on the other side, so I could see down that ditch line from this side of the road. So I'm watching that ditch line. The more I'm thinking about it, sitting there, I'm about 5 minutes into it, and I only ran distress for about a minute, and then I paused for a minute, and I switched over to Cougar vocals, and I ran the whistles for a little bit, and then I ran MR pair, real briefly, just a few seconds, really. Shut it off, went back to whistles, and I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, man, I'm not even 100% I'm not even 100% sure that cat is on that side of the road. The only reason I'm thinking that is because I had the picture I downloaded the video, and the last video I had was kind of walking that direction. So I look down at my phone real quick, and I see a notification from a different camera, and I don't even look at the picture. I just see that I had a ping from another camera. Well, I have a camera on the side of the road that I'm sitting on, and I know instantly, I was like, that's the cat. I caught him on my other camera, which means he's on the other side of the road. He's not on this side. He's on this side. And which is fine and great where I'm sitting over here. Except that stump that my call is sitting on, I can't see the ditch line because that stump's blocking it. So if he decides to come up this ditch line, I won't be able to see him. And if he comes over through here, that's going to be great. However, it's going to be directly in front of me, which is not, I guess, not a lot better than where I'm at now. But so I'm only, I don't know. I shut my call off before I could even look at my timer. I was kind of upset about it. I wished I'd have left it on so I could know how far into it I was during everything, but kind of had a lot of adrenaline going, and it was awesome. So anyway, I never get up and move during the stand, and I rarely will I just set up on the side of the road where I'm fairly exposed. I mean, I'm kind of hidden by that grass right there as far as anything this way, but not very much. Normally I'll take my time. I'll get some brush. I'll get behind a stump. I will really take my time setting up. I don't generally worry too much about the wind. If I can, I'll set up with the wind in my favor, but it hasn't really been an issue for calling cats for me, and I honestly don't think it is an issue. It's not like coyotes where you really got to worry about it. I really don't think you have to. So I'm sitting over here, and I get that notification, realize he's on that side of the road, so then I hear him whistle back to me, and he's out here, out in that middle of that cut, and he sounds like he's probably 100 to 150 yards away. I just hear, and he whistles to me 4 or 5 times, and as soon as I heard the first couple of whistles, first whistle, I was like, is that really him? It's third one, or second one, I knew it was him. Third one, I was about when I got up, and I just said, okay, I have to move over here because if he comes out on that ditch line, I'm going to be screwed. So I just jumped up, moved over, didn't waste any time. As soon as it crossed my mind, I heard him whistle, I just jumped up and moved. I said, I got time. So I moved over here real quick, and, you know, sitting on this side of the road, being right-handed and all, it's kind of awkward. It's not comfortable. So I was not setting up properly. Basically, if I was going to be doing a long standby, I figured it was going to take a long time to call a cat in. I never would have done any of that. But I knew that cat was right here, and he was going to come in. I knew that cat was going to come in. This is 10:30 in the morning. It's broad daylight. It's not very often that kind of stuff happens just right in the middle of the day, but or you wouldn't think it would. But I guess I've killed both my cats in the middle of the day. The other one I killed about noon. Maybe I'll go over that after I'm done here. So I jump over to this side of the road, and I keep the call running. It's on Cougar vocals. It's just whistles. And I switch over to the excited whistles because he was talking back to me. Now I kind of wanted to sound like another cat being here that gets excited about hearing another cat. Right? It's a real friendly sound. So I started playing that. And it couldn't have been even a minute. And that cat stepped right out in the open. This is 35 yards. So came out exactly what I was hoping to. I was hoping he'd come out on this ditch line right here or right out here. Well, he stepped out right. Maybe I'll just walk over there just to show you a size reference here, but that cat stepped out 35 yards away. And the crazy part is I'm sitting out here in the open. I don't have a face mask on, but I've got, I'll show you. Didn't have a sweatshirt on because it's September, but I just had this First Light shirt on, basically. I just kind of like this, and I'm just kind of hunkered behind my gun, looking up the road right here. And I see that cat. I'll try to position it kind of at his angle. The sun's in my eyes, but so I'm sitting just like this. You see me? Got my gun like this. He steps out right here, and I'm looking at him, and I turn the gun, and that's all I did was just this little bit of movement, and he saw that, and all he did was really crazy. He just saw that little bit of movement. I don't know if he saw it or heard it, but he just turns. So he's frontal to me. His body's frontal, but he's looking left. He's looking at my call, so he's looking left. And I swing my gun over, and he just like that looks at me, looks right back at the call. I mean, it was just a fraction of a second, but I mean, it felt like eye contact when he looked at me, because I'm putting him in the scope, and he looks right at me, looks right at the call. It was just a fraction of a second. When he looked at me, I was like, oh, he's gonna run. So I was ready to take a shot, but he looked right back at the call. So then I relaxed, and I got to look at him. I watched his face in the scope. I think I'm zoomed in on like 12 power, which is stupid at 35 yards, but I wanted to be halfway zoomed in case he came in up that ditch line. I kind of wanted to be happy medium. Like if he comes in up the ditch line, I'm halfway zoomed in. If he comes in here, it'll be stupid, but at least I can do it. And because you don't really want to be adjusting anything. You don't want to be moving any more than you have to. So I just put the scope on him, and I knew that I had him right then and there. So I just relaxed for a second and just kind of took it all in. And I'm looking at his face, and I just see the big wrinkles on his head. I just tell it was a big Tom. I just see this His gnarly face, big wide nose on him, just a beautiful cat. And I was kind of hoping he was going to just turn a little bit broadside so I could get a broadside shot at him. And he was kind of quartered just a little bit, not much. And I felt it was like, it was probably only 5 seconds tops, but I felt like I watched him for a couple of minutes. And it was no more than 10 seconds. It was almost like, hey, time's running out, man. You don't get to look at these cats very long before they get away. That was kind of like, better just take the shot now, not risk it. Don't want to get too cocky trying to watch him, but I do like to enjoy it before I shoot him, you know. And so I shot, and there's branches breaking right over here. What the hell is that? I just had a coyote in here a little bit ago, and I shot at him and missed him 3 times. Which is pretty pathetic. But he was on the run, so I just took a couple of Hail Marys at him. Missed him. In fact, he went running right through here. But oh, that's just brush falling from the wind, or what? So anyway, I shot him frontal, and he just dove straight into that. So this is September. This is all pretty thin right now, but he dove right into that group of trees right there, which is all just blackberries. In fact, I might just take you over there and show you. But he dove off into that stuff, and I can hear him in there growling and flopping around. So I walked up to my stump. I started filming. I could hear him. He's flopping around, and you'll see that stuff in the video. And I gave him about 10 minutes. Then I started calling people and told my wife to bring my daughter out here and my game cart. That way I could take him out whole and get a weight on him. Normally in here I just skin him and quarter him out, but close enough to home, and I really wanted to get a full weight on him, so we did that. And I gave him another 10 more minutes, so after he moved for about 10 minutes, I saw some brush twitching and stuff, so about 20 minutes, and then I blazed a little hole in there. Found him, so I'll just walk over there, get the rundown. Anyway, this water was here because it was September, but see what's going on. This thing doesn't like to focus very fast, but yeah, he was standing right up here. Right here. So he was standing right here. And see that stump right there, my stuff by it. That's where I was sitting. My call was right around this tree. So he was looking right here. I was right there. was 35 yards. And when he ran, you see how thick this is? I mean, he ran. So this is nice and open right here. We blazed this. None of this was here. This is all just thick blackberry. He ran through that. I mean, that's nuts. So we came in through here. You see all this big trail that we got going here. I went in here and I had to cut all this down with a machete. You can see the road right there. That's where I was standing after I killed him. I can hear him moving around. I was just standing right there. But he died right here. Hopefully you can see all this. And all this stuff is what we cut. I had to cut all this stuff out to get him out. Took him home whole and threw him up on the scale and weighed 156 pounds whole. So he's a real nice cat. No fat on him, just real lean. First one I killed had a lot of fat. This one was really lean, being that it's September. Just had a nice summer coat on him. It's really, actually a really pretty cat. So anyway, I've been wanting to do a rundown on this for quite a while. Trying to make one of these videos. And I guess if you have any questions, just write in the comments. I'm pretty open about how I do it. Mainly because these cougar populations are getting out of control here, and everybody that hunts here spends time in the woods and knows it. And fishing game likes to pretend that it's not an issue, or likes to pretend that it's not going to kill off all the deer, and that the cat's population's in harm. Not all fishing game, just the commissioners. And it's really stupid what they're doing. They're trying to attack all the predator hunting here. They don't care about the deer. They don't care about elk. They simply want us out of the woods. So they're going to try to let the cougar population and the bears just wipe everything out so we don't have a hunt season. And they deny it and try to gaslight you about it, but sure, everything is sure pointing that direction. So so anyway, I'd like to see more guys out here getting cougars and bears. So I'm pretty open about it. The only thing I'm not open about is my exact spots. I'll tell you which units I was in. I'll tell you all that kind of stuff. I have been studying these cats. Like every time I find these tracks, I'm learning a lot about them. I get one on film, I'm learning a lot. Just try to make a mental note of everything that goes on. Every time anytime I see tracks or sightings, anything that involves a cougar, I try to just note everything and learn as much from it as I can, because they're really tricky. It's like, imagine deer hunting, but you're targeting one specific deer, and that deer travels like 50 times the distance of a normal deer, and it's just unpredictable, and you can't bait them in. It's really, really tricky. Calling them in isn't that hard. I mean, they come in pretty easily. At least for me, they have. I've heard a lot of other stories. I mean, I've heard of cats getting hung up. I've heard of guys just cats, talking and not coming in. I have had that happen a few times, but I've also had them just come strolling in twice now. I did have another one come in that I have pictures of. So I've called in quite a few, but only 3 that I can prove. I've had a lot of experiences where they talk and they won't come in. I did have one years ago before I had cougar vocals. I was just running rabbit distress. I'm in the snow, and I followed some fresh tracks. I set up in the road, and I was calling for probably 20 minutes or so, and legs started going numb, so I adjusted to, that's all I did was just basically just kind of crouch up and stretch my leg out, sat back down. Well, as soon as I moved, I heard rocks and snow come tumbling down the hill to my left. And I went up there, and yeah, there was tracks. So alright, I just got a cougar on my trail camera 11 minutes ago, and it looks like a really big tom. Just got it sent to me. Luckily, I already had my gear loaded up, just about everything except for my call. So I just had to grab my call, and I was already at my house, kind of just ate breakfast and just kind of hanging around, and just got this picture. So I jumped up, grabbed my stuff. I'm headed out here. I'm going to do some calling. I've seen this cougar in this spot on my cameras 3 times now, but the season was closed. But it's open now, and I almost went out there this morning. And if I would have been out there this morning, he just would have showed up in the road. I'd have got him, but I don't know what's going to happen now. I'm going to have to call him. He walked off the road a ways. He's just meandering real slowly. Looks like he's hunting. So he should still be in the area. The only problem is he's walking towards where I park. And now, if this were a bear or any other animal, I wouldn't care. They don't generally hear me where I park, and it doesn't seem to bother them. Being a cat, they pay attention to stuff more. If he's still in the road, he could be walking right up to where I'm at, and I don't want to spook him off. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do there, but I might park just a little ways away and walk. But at the same time, I got to hurry up and get in there because I don't want him going far. It looks like he's just taking his time, but yeah, first stand of the year. This is September 4th. And man, usually I don't start cat hunting until the snow, but get one on trail camera and just got to pick up and run. So I don't know how much filming I'll be able to do on calling because all I have is my phone. I didn't bother to grab any other cameras, so I was hoping to get one of these hunts on film, but I'll do what I can. Maybe I can prop this thing up by a rock. I got plenty of battery power, so should be okay. I was headed back towards the other side, so this is good. This is really, really good. It's been 2 minutes, so I'm gonna have to walk in real quietly because that sucker, he could still be in the road. If he's not on the road, he'll be right next to it. So I'm gonna do some calling if he doesn't step out on his own. But this is awesome. I should be able to get this cat. Really, really good chance of getting this cat. So we'll see. Well, that cat just crossed in front of that same camera 2 minutes ago. I just did it. I just did it. He's a big tom. I just got him. He's right there. He's dead right there. He's huge. He's big. Got me calling in here. My call clean. Oh shit, he's still alive. He's still moving. Okay. He's still moving. I don't know how I frontaled him with a 300 short mag. 25 yards. I did it. I did it, and the season's not even just open on the 4th. Or open on the 1st. Today's the 4th. I still hear a little movement. adrenaline talking. I'm shaking right now. I shut it off. Damn it, I should have. I don't know how long I was calling. I was only calling 5 minutes probably. I got him on my trail camera. And yeah, he's big. He looked really big. I got a good look at him through the scope. Oh, it was amazing. Okay. There's my call. He's in that thick stuff somewhere. Oh, he's still alive. I can hear him. Hear him. Well, he's still there, kind of kicking a little bit. That's not something I want to walk up on. So, I'm going to make some phone calls. I'm going to get my wife to bring out the game cart. I can't believe I just got a cougar. The season just started. Normally it's like 6 months from chasing cats. Just got one. It's huge, so I'm not upset about it. It's a big Tom, big old gnarly face on him. God, he's a beautiful cat.